What's going on, everybody? A weird line on my chat thing already. What's going on here? So, it is New Year's Eve. I hope everyone's having a pleasant New Year's Eve. Already got some familiar faces in here. Good evening. Good to see you. Dennis here watching the stream at midnight over in Europe. Well, here it is 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm glad you're here. Hope you're having a good night. Ed, good to see you as well. Glad to see some familiar faces in here. What's everybody's plan after this is over? I need to say this first off. I got a hard out at like 7 on the nose because I got some friends coming over that I haven't spent time with in a minute. So we're going to go get some food and we're going to hang out and enjoy some time together. So I want to put that out there first. Happy New Year to you as well, Jiffer. Sam, same to you. Happy New Year. So after this is over with, hopefully you guys have time to enjoy whatever it is you're going to be doing. Or in the case of someone like Omar, good afternoon. Awesome to see people from all over the world. Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar boat. Gonna keep things small, keep things low profile, but you know, have some fun anyways. Yeah, that's my plan after this is over is pizza and some shot glasses. We're gonna enjoy some time. Good. That's pretty much it, man. That's all I'm kind of interested in as well. Happy New Year's to you as well, Omar. So we're right about that 6 o'clock mark here. And I put out a call here on YouTube. I can get my stuff set up correctly. Topics for the live stream conversation. And yeah. I went Pfizer, but I've not gotten the booster yet. But my second dose of Pfizer, I felt so bad. I had no energy, man. I felt like I had the flu. It was rough. I felt terrible for about a day and a half. So hopefully you don't get too many of those side effects of that kind of thing going on, because that was no fun. Spent today cleaning the old camera gears and electronics. Nice. I'm a rum guy. I don't like to mix it either. I'll just shoot it and chase it with something. I'm all about efficiency, right? You know, just get where we're going. January, there will be an update coming in January. Apparently fairly substantial. Happy New Year, Juan. Nice. Pixel 6 is a great companion if you can do it and you want to carry 2 devices. I don't see going much better than a Pixel 6. I did put out a thing asking what you guys wanted to talk about in the stream. Let me read these comments and I'll see if there's anything in here. And of course, if you have anything you want to talk about, ask me about whatever. You know where to do it. Looks like you already got about 10 people in here currently. Thank you. That's another thing I want to point out. If you are watching this, I want to tell you something. We're at 7,992 subscribers, and I really was wanting to get to 8K by the end of the year. We are so close. So if you're watching this, first off, you can't comment unless you're subscribed, just because things get too crazy when we're doing certain things. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. That would be great. That sounds like some good stuff. Saw your last video about Duo 2 and complaints, and I'm pretty sour, but I don't know why people buy things from Google and Microsoft. They have a horrible track record. Yeah, so we can talk about this right off the bat. This is as good a topic as any that we got in front of us. So Google's track record is mixed, right? But I think largely most of their devices have been better than not, right? Most of the Pixel devices they've had some issues, but nothing crazy. However, Microsoft, in particular with the phone world, has a terrible track record. So the question was like, why would we trust Microsoft with phones? Well, the thought was, this is not the same Microsoft. They've almost completely turned over, right? This is Panos Panay. This is the Surface team. This is a different world. Things have not panned out quite that way. So there was, call it naive, what's the word I'm looking for? Naive optimism, perhaps. But yeah. Let's see here. I'd like to know if it was really Google that caused the OG Duo not to get. I mean, it wasn't Google's fault, right? Like, okay. So let's say I'm in school and the professor gives me an assignment and they give me 6 months to get it done. And I wait until the last second and my internet goes out, so I can't send in my assignment. I can't blame the internet. That's not the internet's fault. I shouldn't have waited until the last second. So is it waiting now because Google is trying to certify and they went on holiday? Yeah, it seems that is very likely the reason, but it should have never came to this point. They shouldn't have waited this long. Fernando from Argentina. Very cool. Happy New Year. Android 11 aside for Duo 1, why no security patch in December? Because they intended on shipping Android 11. That is why. Android 11 was meant to come. Stuff went wrong. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Really do appreciate that. Hoping Duo 2 gets better. Love that. Yeah, me and you both. Oh, did that twice. There we go. I thought Pixel 5 was also pretty good. My wife loved this phone. Great battery life, phenomenal camera. She loved the size, the durability. It's a good phone. Google is not a hardware or support company. They're a company of developers. For sure. I mean, like, I'm not saying Google's perfect at all, but I'm saying that I would say in general, Pixel devices have been more good than bad. I've owned the 2, the 3, the 5, and they were all some of my favorite phones. The 3's battery life was bad, but it was still a very good phone. The 2 was awesome. The 5 was awesome. So, let's see here. But yeah, Google's bad about like starting something and then not finishing it. That's totally a Google thing, but I don't know how well that applies to Pixel itself. Ordered the Oppo Find 4 after Microsoft let us down again. I gave up on them. Yeah, I mean, hey, Oppo's good. I mean, my overhead camera here is a OnePlus device, and they share a parent company. Oppo's very good. In fact, if I could get a hold of the Oppo Find in America, it'd be very hard for me to not want to do that. So, order Duo because it was $425. I mean, look, at that price, it's got problems. For $425, that's a pretty good deal. Do you ever think we'll see Duo 2 display battery level on the status bar? I don't know. You'd think that the glance feed, whatever they call it, would do a lot more than it already does. If you don't know what we're talking about, you can see it there. Just unplugged it. You see my battery level there, but then that goes away. And then from then on, if I hit my power button, all I'm going to get is the time over there. And then, of course, if you get a text message, a Teams message, or an email, I believe that's, or a phone call. I think that's right. That will show up, but nothing else does show up. Why this is not a situation like a smartwatch or like Samsung's devices where it all appears, any notification appears there. I don't know. I don't know why that's not like that. It's weird. Happy New Year. Thank you. Same to you. Keep rolling here. Happy New Year from SoCal. Switch from Pixel to Duo 2. No regrets. That's very cool. Very cool. I'm glad you're enjoying your Duo 2. That's a big jump. In fact, one of my friends that's coming over tonight is also from, I believe, the SoCal area. San Diego, perhaps? If I'm remembering right. Something like that. Yeah. Sometimes those carrier deals are hard to pass up. Omar, thank you. New member. Fantastic. Glad to have you. Really do appreciate it. Armstrong Tech. The Microsoft gets a bad reputation from the media, but when Apple releases something, the media goes, yeah, okay. So this is, let's hang on this for a second. I got some comments from a few different people saying, I see this all the time. There's a lot of Windows Phone people. They love their Windows Phone, and I get it. I get it. I'm like that with WebOS, right? I love my Palm Pre. I love WebOS. But they'll get a Duo, and they'll go, man, it's got bugs. And then they'll say, it's got bugs, therefore Android is buggy. And then they'll say, I guess if you don't want bugs, you got to buy an iPhone. That's all that's left that isn't buggy. That's just like patently not true, okay? It's not true. And I can explain this why it's not true in a couple of ways. One, simplest way, what was the last iOS update that came out that was riddled with bugs? It was all over the headlines. I didn't pay great attention because I don't give a rat's ass about iOS. But I saw headlines everywhere about how buggy, was it iOS 15 maybe? It was one of the very recent ones. All over the place. Bugs, 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 bugs. I watched a couple of videos on it. I think Diverge maybe had a video. I think Dieter maybe talked about it in an iPhone review or something like that. So first off, iPhones have bugs too. Like, of course they do. But then on the flip side of that, Duo has bugs, but they're not Android bugs, they're Duo bugs. It's because Duo is doing something really weird with Android. And it's like, Duo has bugs, but my Pixel 5 doesn't have that bug. My Z Fold doesn't have that bug, so forth and so on. So it's not fair to just blame it on Android at all. You have to give credit where it's due. And in this instance, the credit that's due is to Microsoft for releasing a buggy device. Deanie. Thank you. I intend to continue rolling just the same as I have been. So hopefully you guys continue watching and supporting the channel. It means a lot. I think the next elections will ban a lot of phone manufacturers due to hiding intentions. If it's founded, like if it needs to happen, like if they prove that like Huawei was legitimately like spying on us with their phones for the Chinese government, I said, well, yeah, we don't want that happening. But part of me is like, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into that, but if something nefarious is going on, then sure, go for it. If not, don't. Off topic. Are you a fan of Game of Thrones or Walking Dead? That is off topic, but I like it. I like off topic questions as well. I watched Walking Dead up until, is this a spoiler? When Negan first showed up and he whacked some people on the head. I watched up until there and I felt like the violence was gratuitous. Like it felt to me, you guys remember, maybe this is still happening. I don't know. But when I was a kid, we all had that one friend that would the internet was brand new, right? And they would say, hey, have you seen this thing? And you'd go into their bedroom and they'd show you on their computer, they'd go to like a website, like I think it was called like rotten.com or something like that. Anyways, and they'd show you some horrible, like some dude's head exploded or something from a motorcycle wreck, and you'd be like, why are you showing me this? I don't want to look at that. It felt like that to me. It felt like just gore porn, and it put me off, and I didn't want to watch it anymore. And Game of Thrones, I never really gave Game of Thrones a fair shake. I watched like maybe an episode, and my brain, there's too much ADHD here for them to introduce 87 characters in rapid succession. And by the end of it, I was just like, who are these people? And I had no idea what the hell was happening. So didn't really give that much of a shot. Does the camera bump in Surface Duo 2 make you uncomfortable when you hold it or feel it? No, not at all. In fact, call me crazy here, but for me, some people have been like, oh, it's a wedge shape. That's got to be uncomfortable. It's really not, because it's either fine or it's actually good for me. It just gives me something extra to hold on to. Like I promise you, it's really not a problem. It really, really, really does not bother me at all. At all. Welcome to the party, indeed. Did you want to see? I can't really compare it to the original Duo because I've got that pin, the pin thing back there, so I'd have to pull that off to be able to get to it, because now I got a pin back there, and even with the pin out, it still doesn't close all the way, so I can't really show you a comparison. But it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. And if guys and gals out there that have a Duo 2, if you could echo this, what you think about the wedge shape. Does it bother you? It doesn't bother me at all. Thank you for supporting what I'm doing. I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. Awesome. Thank you so much for that super chat. Aljosa? Hope I said that right. As respectfully as I can. Thank you so much. There's definitely a lot of Microsoft hate. Duo is the most fun thing possible to hate on. That's where everybody puts it in their lists of things that they didn't like. Was given Duo 1 from a friend for a week to try. Honestly, the physical design of the phone is what Apple should do. Yeah, I think that the actual design itself is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Was that meant to be 15? Talking about iOS 15 is buggy? Like bank phone is an iPhone 8 and we had to download 15. Okay, there you go. Yeah. Just wanted to give you an update from the BlackBerry world. I actually read that like maybe an hour ago. That is crazy. Somebody's got to tell Adam over at Tech Odyssey. So he's going to be put on some kind of welfare check or something. He's going to be really bummed out. That's crazy. And Onward Mobility still radio silent. They were supposed to ship a BlackBerry device this year. That's not happened at all. That's awesome. Foundation. We just we're really late to this one. We just started watching that Netflix Dracula miniseries, and it was pretty wild. We watched the first episode. It's like an hour and a half long per episode. It was pretty interesting. Do you keep all your old phones? I usually do. I don't like getting rid of anything. It bothers me. I feel like I like weirdly anthropomorphize like objects, and I feel bad when I get rid of them. Like I feel guilty, like I've betrayed them in some way. Just I understand how insane that sounds, but it is what it is. So I keep them. When do you think was the first price drop for Duo 2? Probably a long time. Think about it like this. We've already seen sales on Z Fold 3. Ain't seen anything on Duo 2. And I think that's by design. I think that they're going to hold their ground. I think this is a Surface. And I think that, look at other Surface devices. It's usually 6 months or, ish, right? Something like that. So I think it's probably going to be in that same range, maybe 6 month mark. We might see a sale. Something like that. Nothing wrong with the camera bump. Totally agree. Thanks for answering my question, Shane. I will never hold into. Okay, so you're saying, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a bummer too. I wish that they had a larger, broader release, but Microsoft doesn't. It reminds me of like in the gaming world, like Japan, it's PlayStation and Nintendo. That's it. Sony, Nintendo. That's it. Xbox does not have much of a foothold there. It's gotten a little bit better, but like with the Xbox 360, Xbox was dominating. 360 was dominating North America, and it was selling like nothing in Japan. So they don't try over there. So Microsoft, if they have a market that they just don't compete in, they just don't compete in it. So they just don't ship their stuff there, and it's a bummer. Is a bummer. Happy New Year, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, it'll be available for rewatching whenever you want. After greater friend. Yeah, man, dude, it drives me up the wall. My older dog is, I think she's 12 now. Is that right? Something like that, 11 or 12. And like thunderstorms and fireworks, she shakes. She's like, you've seen her in the video. She's a 75-pound dog, and it scares the crap out of her, and it drives me crazy. Feel bad for her. It is what it is. Adam knows about BlackBerry dying. I figured he would. Man, it's starting to feel that way, right? Just strange. Let's see here. Hate to add gas to the fire, but did you see where Microsoft has applied for a patent for something concerned? Yeah, actually, you may have missed the video, but it came out this morning. So I talked about it in a News Radar video this morning. Probably will never, ever see the light of day. Probably will never be a thing. But it's interesting. It's fun to think about. Fun to talk about. Do you think the first Duo is still good? Such a complicated question. I still really like the original Surface Duo, and there's things about it that are like, I'm not okay. So like when I say that like the wedge shape isn't bad, that's not the same as saying that Duo 1 being able to fold flush isn't better. It is better. I think Duo 2 hardware-wise overall is better though, with faster processor, bigger battery, faster screens. whatever. But the original Duo, for me, the problems were software, right? So it was the bugs. So, and it seems to me like not everybody gets the same bugs. So you might get a Duo 1 that's fine. And who knows, maybe in 2 weeks when this Android 11 update drops, maybe it'll be fantastic. If I'm looking into buying a Duo 1 right now, I am holding the line until Android 11 drops. And then I will make my decision, and I will be more than happy to tell you everything I can. For right now, my problem with the original Duo is just the general stutters and the general bugginess, and the black screen bug in particular is debilitating on my device. It happens so often that it drives me absolutely insane. So it's kind of a non-answer, but it's kind of the best I've got. Thanks for stopping by. Happy New Year. Thank you for the kind words, and you are very, very welcome. Have you watched the 6-part Xbox documentary? I haven't, and I need to. Actually, I saw it, that it existed, but I haven't done it yet, though. Granted, my first phone was a flip phone, not smart. I have a son who's 4. I can't imagine what he will have. Man, that is wild to think about, isn't it? I remember being a kid or being young when did the original Moto Razr come out? I'm 32, so whatever that would be. I remember so my chunk of my family lives in Knoxville, and the rest of our extended family lived in Florida, and they were a bit more financially better off than us. My grandfather had a construction company, so they're a bit more better off. So that doesn't really make sense. But they'd come up and they'd visit, or we'd go down there and visit sometimes. And I would see them. They all had Moto Razrs, and they were like going on websites and stuff on the Razr. Of course, it was old mobile, and it was terrible. But I just remember being like, "That's crazy! Like, look at that phone." And now it's like that's the most rudimentary piece of shit on the planet. It is crazy how fast things move. Have you heard anything about or experienced grinding feeling in the hinges? Not grinding, no, but similar to my original Duo. If I open it really quickly, there is a feeling of, how could I describe it? Not grinding, but like a slight, almost like if you've let your brakes go too long and your rotors have begun to warp, you get kind of a vibration. Kind of like a vibration. But my original Duo did it too. Both of the Duos I've owned, both of my original Duos did it too. And it never got any worse. It just was like that. So not grinding, no. I'm waiting for but I should say I have heard other people describe grinding before, and they've already made it and got new ones. Something you should probably look into. I'm waiting for the Android 11 update on Duo 1 before pulling the trigger on Duo 2. We'll more than likely still get a Duo 2, but slow playing. I think that's smart. I mean, and it's something that, I talked about the other day that, when Android 11 drops on the original Duo, is it going to be able to meet those expectations of a year of, oh man, this is going to be a game changer? That's a big question. But more than anything, like, I think people generally, broadly, just want to see that Duo 1 was supported in the end before they drop more money on another device. I think that's much more important. I think that's the most important thing about Android 11 is just proving to people that you are going to get those updates. More than the update even being good, it's just that it exists. Should have waited, but I thought, $425 is a good price. That thing launched at $1,400 a year ago. So, yeah, and at $425, I know that's not necessarily impulse buy territory for everybody, but it's much more of an impulse buy than $1,400. And if 6 months go by and you're like, this just ain't it, you're not going to be like, man, I can't believe I dropped that much money. You're going to be like, $400, whatever. Not a big deal. The thing we all need to remember is that the Microsoft guy who is so passionate about Surface devices, Panos Panay, he just has a job to deliver something for the board. Absolutely. This is a business, right? And that's why I've talked about how, these bug issues. Look, let's be clear here. The bugs on Surface Duo are not because Microsoft can't do better. It's because they're not doing better. And there is an ocean between those two concepts. They could do better. All they'd have to do is they'd have to say, okay, We're going to hire some really great developers. We're going to put money into this. We're going to put a lot of money into this. And we're going to fix it. And they can fix it very, very quickly. But Microsoft is very conservative. They're all about this slow progression. I always liken it to the original Surface Pro. Surface Pro 1, not good. 2, a little better. 3, pretty good now. And that's what they like to do. They don't like to jump in with both feet and dump a bunch of money into a project. They like to kind of take a slow roll on things. And that's friendlier to these board members, to the stockholders and so forth. You know, it doesn't look like they're just willy-nilly dumping money everywhere and having big failures. Because right now, if they said, yeah, Duo 2, we're going to back out, not a big deal, it wouldn't be a big loss to them. They'd be like, yeah, we tried it. We spent some money, but like it wasn't a lot of money, you know, like it wasn't a crazy amount of money. They could move on, and it's a bump in the road. It's a rock in the road. It's nothing. So that's the way they like to do things. They don't like to, and yeah, this is a good point too. With Apple's slow sales on iPhone, then you come up with a big, I can't read. They need to come home big this year, and I think they will. Yeah, and I talked about this a bit earlier as well on the Samsung trifold, which isn't a trifold, and people pointed out in the comments, not a trifold, it's a dual fold, a Z fold. That people are sick of boring phones, and I think that's why no one's buying these. Not no one, but the iPhone sales are finally slowing down. I'm very curious to see what Apple does. That's a great point too. I mean, they're not even developing their own software. Like they tried to develop their own software for it, and then eventually they went, and then they just went with Android, which I don't think was the wrong choice. But again, this isn't what Microsoft can't do; it's what they're just not doing. Let's see here. I have not seen it. I only ever saw the first Matrix movie. I didn't see 2 or 3, so I don't know if I need to watch it or not. If it's gonna make any sense to me. What's up, brother? Not sure what you meant there, but if you want to talk about that Pixel 6 update, I talked about it initially that there were problems, there were a lot of bugs, and that the rollout had stopped. Now Google has, of course, I think, was it on this morning's news radar? Did I talk about it on this morning's? I think I did. That they have officially said, yeah, we're stopping the rollout, and the Pixel 6's next update will be late January, to get you caught back up and fix all those bugs. Not a great look from Google. I think if they made Duo a tablet instead of a phone, it would be cheaper for people to. Yeah. I just don't think Android tablets are really I don't care about them really. I've got a couple, but I don't use them. I'm glad that it's a phone because I want it to be something that I can put my SIM in and carry as my only device. But if they produce something like Duo that was not a phone, your SIM didn't go in it, or if it did go in it, it didn't act like it still couldn't take calls, whatever, like an iPad. And it was much cheaper. It would have to be much cheaper. But that's the problem, is I think that the engineering that went into Duo, and then the fact that Microsoft is not willing to take even a small loss, they're not going to lose money on Duo. They're just not going to. That predicated, they had to sell it for a decent amount of money. And at that point, it needs to be your only device. It can't be people are I have a Duo and this thing. And I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you do it. I'm glad you enjoy it. But the average person, most people aren't going to buy a $1,400 device to be their secondary device. That's just not what's going to happen. So it has to be a phone. If they can get the price way down, maybe that's different, but that's really hard. Really hard to do with what this thing is. Happy New Year from France. Thank you. Same to you. But from America. What do you think about the rumor saying there will not be a Surface Duo 3 next year, but maybe in 2023? Glad you brought this up. I hope it's true. I personally do not think that there is anything with Duo 2 that physically, hardware-wise, needs to change. I really don't. I think it is, for me, it's I'm not going to say it's perfect, but it's really good hardware-wise. I don't think they need to do anything here. I think that they need to spend the next year all hands on deck working on software. And maybe in 2023, they can come back and do something differently. change some hardware around. But for right now, I just spent $1,400 here and $1,500 here. And Lord knows Microsoft is not going to send me a Duo 3. For the sake of my wallet, I hope they hold off. Don't need another one at the moment. Can't wait for Duo to rename their updates Springish. Yeah. Absolutely. Their names are so silly. I work quite a bit in Windows server environments. If they could have put Windows 11 on Duo, yeah, I mean, I hear that a lot, but do you really want to be like, I can't imagine trying to run Windows on those size screens. I've got this old HP Stream 7 tablet that ran Windows, and it's a touchscreen, and it's terrible. Trying to like reach up there and hit that X or hit, to do things that small of a touchscreen on Windows is terrible. And it would be even worse here. Those screens are tiny. I get where you're coming from, but man, oh man. I don't know how well that would work. Apple people do buy iPads and phones, but keep in mind that some of these iPads are only like $400 now, $400 or $500. So that's a big difference. Any word on the OtterBox case? Nope, they're not doing anything. They haven't responded to my 2 emails now at all, and I think it still just says coming soon. I haven't heard anything. Very strange. What's going on, Michael? Good to see you in here. Duo is a fantastic DS simulator. Man, if you just bought a Duo, original Duo for $400, and then bought, I don't think my controller's in here, a Bluetooth controller that clamps onto it just to like emulate games on, be great. I like this question. I want to see some answers. That's my opinion. I just don't think it makes any sense. I think that they would have had to have customized Windows to a radical point to make it work correctly, and I think that's why they gave up. Why though? I think the Oppo Find N looks fantastic. I want one. I want one badly. Yeah, if you get an original Duo, did I just know your fireworks? Might have just heard a firework outside. Too early, y'all. It's like 6:30. We're not there yet. If you get one, by the way, that is a delicious looking pizza on your avatar. And my wife has actually walked out the door just now to go get pizza for us. So, making me hungry. Yeah, but if you get a Duo for less than $400, I mean, come on, dude. Like, look, like really? Let's be real. Look at this thing. Just look at it. For $400, come on. That's awesome. That's a great deal. I'm bummed out that it's $400 because that, because of how far it had to fall to get there. But yeah, it's a great deal for $400. Let's see here. What about this idea? Windows Duo with Android as the phone OS you plug in. I mean, that sounds like some kind of fantasy world, right? I mean, nobody would turn that down. If I could plug this into a setup and I would get Windows, that'd be amazing. Be amazing. Yeah. I just wish they had, you said like Samsung DeX, but not crappy DeX. I think DeX is pretty good, and compared to what we have on Duo, which is just your screen again, DeX is fantastic. I would love to see a proper Continuum desktop environment. That'd be fantastic. Wonder if Duo 3 will take a similar approach to the Oppo. Do you mean by like having one OLED screen folding? Because I don't think that they'll do that. I think it's going to continue being 2 screens. It would really surprise me if they went to a folding OLED. At that point, what's the point? If Duo 3 is announced and it's just a folding OLED, why would you buy it? It's like, just buy this then, because this is going to be this is automatically better because it's got no bugs or very few bugs. course. Windows on ARM is not that great, but it's getting better, right? Like it's improving a bit. It would be pretty wild. Oh, by the way, did you guys see? I haven't talked about this on the channel because I just haven't had anything worth saying, but let me pull this up here real quick. You guys know who this is? Gustav. How would you pronounce that? Manche? Maybe. I don't know. He was involved in the Lumia Windows on ARM project. He's one of these guys that was hacking Windows onto Lumia devices, and he now does own a Surface Duo. And he's doing stuff. So a year in, stuff might actually happen with Duo and Windows. So that's pretty wild, right? That's a pretty crazy thing. Got a bunch of Twitter notifications. I gotta turn Twitter notifications off. I'm dying to hear it. Edge of my seat. What do you got? So you've not actually gotten your Duo in yet. You just ordered it and it's still on the way. I think I've made so many videos. It's hard to even remember what all I've done, but I'm almost positive I've made several gaming related videos. How things run on it and so forth. So definitely check those out. Windows Phone on Duo. Windows Phone was very good, but I don't know. I'm good with Android. I don't really have any problems with it. What's going on, Brian? Your channel has become one of my favorites. Your coverage on Duo 2 has been among the best, if not the best. I appreciate that. You know, I was talking to Jesse about this yesterday, about how a lot of people have like delusions of grandeur about themselves, that they think that they're like more important than they are. And I was talking about how I ran across this girl's YouTube channel. Does that sound bad? Woman? You know what I mean? And she has a YouTube channel talking about like how to care for reptiles and stuff like that. And I was like, man, like her channel is legitimately like correcting errors and like saving the lives of animals. And it's like, that's way more important than what I do. Like what I do here at best is I might educate you on how to use your device better, and that might make your day a bit better. And I might entertain you. And that's about it. But if those two things are important to you and you enjoyed it, then hell yeah, my job is done. Surface Laptop Studio. Yeah, that's a pretty cool one. That's a pretty wild device. I'd love to get my hands on it. It would be fun to do a little hacking on Duo. Yeah, man. You know how many times I've almost bought a Palm Pre? An old Palm Pre just to have. Again, I loved that thing. It was so good. So good. I'm interested in what pricing is going to look like with this hike in inflation for 2022. Yeah, inflation's a real problem. A real problem. Doesn't seem like anybody cares to do anything about it. So I guess we'll have to find out. Let's see here. Duo's coming. I thought because there were two screens, must be a great word. Yeah, so yeah, like I said before, the two screens thing is intentional. It is an intentional thing. They could have made a folding OLED, but it's like I think, did Daniel Rubino say this? Maybe, because people are talking about oh, I want to see a Surface Uno, and it's like, why? What could they possibly offer in that market? Why would you buy that? And a folding OLED, why would you buy that? There's better options. It is not. I am not a Broadway person. It's just a phrase that I pulled out of my behind and decided to use. That's funny though. Yes, that's something that so many people get wrong too, though. That's the assumption. It's like, oh, Microsoft couldn't make a proper Z Fold competitor. Like, you really don't think that they could? You really don't think they could? Come on. Would it be any good? Would it be worth buying? That's a whole different question. But they could make one. I'm glad that they didn't, because we don't need another one. Money's made up. Money doesn't exist. Just something we all agree upon. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. The world's done lost its mind. Going on, Gary? I love the Duo, but due to lack of support, glitchy software, give up. Yeah, no, man, I totally understand. When my original Duo started black screen glitching incessantly, I bought a Z Fold because I couldn't go back to a regular old phone, regular slab phone, so I went with that. But I totally get it. Luckily, my Duo 2 and my having those problems, but I could understand why someone would be like, man, I'm not going back again. And it's like playing Russian roulette, right? Kind of, except you've already shot yourself once and you like survived, but you're like, I'm gonna do it again. Let's keep going. Yeah, that was a weird looking. Y'all know what he's talking about. I'm gonna pull up a picture here. Let's look. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think that did come out. I have it right here. Yeah, it's a weird design. Very strange. Yeah, so I've been using, for those that don't know, the Mobvoi TicWatch Pro 3 Ultra. It's going very well. My biggest concern with it was battery life. I'm getting about 3 days of battery life on it, and that's including sleeping with it on too. I will have my review, but they want me to wait to post the review until after January the 13th, I think. I think they're going to make some kind of a PR push or something. So it'll be, the full review will be coming first, what would that be, like the second half of next month? But positive. Feeling quite positive about it. Dog name Beta or Betamax. Yeah, more dog names. Keep coming. Beta or Betamax. That's funny. My wife had a beta fish. Have you guys heard of the video game called PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? It was super buggy when it came out. She had a beta fish, and I told her she should name her fish PUBG. And she said, why? And I said, because it will always be a beta. And I thought that was pretty funny. And that was that beta fish's name. What are your thoughts on Xbox outselling PlayStation this year? It's mostly due to supply chain. Is that true? I didn't even know that happened. I'm so out of touch in the gaming world. I think that when I stopped paying attention, Sony seemed like they were reverting to the old, overly confident Sony of years gone by, of the PlayStation early PS3 era, and it felt like Microsoft is hungry again, and Game Pass is awesome. So they should be worried. They should be concerned. Let's see here. I agree, man. Oppo Find N looks so good. So good. I still like the two screens, obviously, but for folding stuff, awesome. Are you saying that's enough of me? Like you're like, I'm done watching this? What does that mean? What y'all, the over under on how long it takes them to smooth out the camera bump? Man, I don't know. This is one of those things that, like, we got to think about this. We got to look at like measurements and stuff, right? So Duo 2 is 5.8 millimeters thick. So how do you fit a good camera module into something that's less than 6 millimeters thick? Physics is, you can't cheat physics, right? Like, cameras need depth. Like, how many lenses are in here going that way? Like 5, 7? I don't know. I don't know how they'll make it have no bump. And a lot of people say stuff like, oh, well, this phone doesn't have a bump. It's like, yeah, but this phone is way thicker. Like, literally, if you take this phone and reduce its thickness to the thickness of Duo, it would have a bump the same size. That's tough. Not a chance. Not a chance in the world. I try. Although I will say this, maybe I'll think of something for a 10,000 sub celebration. But no, I'm not shaving my head. I tried it 3 times, turned the duo, and then bought it again. But sadly, yeah, I it makes complete and total sense. Totally understand. When you guys think Apple will invent the folding phone? Here's a real question though. When they invent the folding phone, will it be an iPhone that folds over like a Z Flip? Or will it be an iPhone that folds out into an iPad? But might that then cannibalize their iPad sales? It's gonna be very interesting. I'm very curious to see what they wind up doing because they're very intentional with what they do here. What program are you using to have the comments up on screen? Man, this is so hacked together. So there is an extension for Chrome. Look up live chat overlay. And then I've got it. This might get complicated for me to explain. I'm streaming with OBS, live chat overlay, and then I'm doing a window capture of what that extension does. And then I'm doing an alpha channel to delete the black around the comment. It's super hacked together, but it works pretty good. So I'm going to keep doing it. And it's free. StreamYard is a paid service that does something very similar, though. Went to a big store yesterday and saw a 16-inch MacBook M1 Pro. Beautiful. Yeah, man, they're great, but they're very expensive. Yeah, even the cheaper consoles now like that, like the S, are still great. They've come so far. I'm a bit of a PC gaming snob at this point. I'm sorry. I'm not like a PC master race person, but like I can't use controllers anymore. I'm totally broken for that. So, but yes, if you're a console gamer, so many great options and so many good games out there. Xbox and PlayStation barely competing with each other. Microsoft is really kind of doing their own thing right now in a lot of ways, and I think it's smart. It kind of reminds me of what Nintendo has always done. Ooh, good call. Good call. Microsoft Canada, half off. I might have even saw something similar to that on like Amazon or something like that. But yeah, that's definitely a good good call out. I personally don't want a cover display. Call me crazy, but I don't. I personally like the minimal design. I like that there's just nothing there and nothing there. I like that a lot. And I like the fact that when it's closed, it's closed. I'm not, I don't care about a cover display. I have a watch. Let's see here. Thinking of getting the TicWatch 3 Ultra. I really like it so far, man. I can't compare it to a Samsung watch because I've never owned one, but I quite like it. The GPS seems quite accurate. Health tracking stuff seems quite accurate. It's quick. Can't, like I said, is my overhead camera functional right now? No, it's not. Oh, droid cam. You fail me sometimes. Let me turn this on real quick. Bear with me. Okay. But no, I really like mine. It is quite fast. I'll show you. I mean, it's moving through stuff is relatively quick. Not really having any issues at all. Going through my notifications, clear notifications, stuff like that. I quite like it. It's pretty good. Someone says something about, let me go back up. Here's the difference though. What you're talking about would cost him $23,000 in today's money. So, so buying an Xbox S or X makes a ton of sense right now. A ton of sense. Apple Foldable will be a status symbol. $2,000 phone. Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me. About dying your beer ball. Oh man. I don't know. That's better than shaving my head for sure. I don't think there's ever been any dye of any kind anywhere near my head at all. Maybe maybe I need to get a trim, right? I could do a trim, maybe. See here. Duo does need more customization. Theming, custom icons. Maybe Android 12? Maybe. That's interesting. It did get a lot of praise. Surface Duo 2 needs a wireless charging add-on that can lessen the transition of the camera. Yeah, it would be cool. Like, honestly, if they did the slim pin thing, the charging case, that instead of doing the slim pin, charge the phone, I'd be more interested in it. For sure. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Okay. That's fair. I just know that I'm not like saving a life. So in my mind, what that person's doing is more important. But I do understand that what I do, people do for whatever reason seem to enjoy it. It's mysterious to me. But I'm glad that you guys do. I'm glad you think it's important. I would love to see Microsoft revisit Surface or Surface Neo. Be fantastic. Would love to have it. Reference to the cover display on Duo. I've been using the Z Flip for the last few months. It's just enough to be useful or not use it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Jess. I need to ask her how much she's using that cover display because she's got a smartwatch too. So I don't know how much she really uses it. I'd be curious to know. We're getting close to that 7 o'clock mark. Wonder if my wife is on her way back with pizza because I'm hungry, guys. Excuse me. Meta VR $299, Apple's $1,800. Yeah. Yeah, that is very much true. I believe my wife has actually just pulled in. So, guys, I think I'm going to kind of wrap things up here. I want to say, first off, what an incredible year. When this year started, I had, I think, a little over 3,000 subscribers. We are at nearly 8,000 today. That's crazy. That's an insane amount of growth. And I owe it in large part to you guys who watch and who hit that like button, to the people who are members, right? Can I show this in a way that isn't gonna, let's do this real quick. Members, if you see your name here, thank you. Because I don't know if all of you realize that this YouTube channel is my primary pursuit for myself to bring home money, to have a job. And it is from you guys that I'm able to do this. And, you know, the members obviously just saw there. It's not a huge chunk of money, but it does help. Obviously, you guys know how much the membership costs. That's not a surprise to anyone. But it blows my mind anytime I look at my analytics to see, you know, getting 150,000 views in a month, be pulling 400 or 500 new subs every month. It's insane to me. So thank you for the support. No, gross. It does mean a ton. And thanks for stopping on these streams. Like, it's still crazy to me. Like, man, go on, like, I don't want to, like, call people out or anything, so I'm not going to do that. But, like, go look at some other people doing live streams like this and look at how many viewers they have. I don't know why I get 50, 46, 50. I've had, like, I've had over 200 people in streams at points. I have no idea why. I have no clue why so many of you are here. It's wild to me. I don't understand it. But I'm extremely thankful for it. So thank you guys again for an incredible 2021. I'll be back on Monday with a News Radar episode, and we'll keep this thing rolling. I guess that's about it, guys. Have a good new year. If it's not happened yet in your location, Happy New Year. I guess if it's happened in your location, I hope it was fun, and I hope you also have a great New Year. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Guess I got to say the thing, right? Oh, you made it in just in time. Good to see you. Good to see you. Tons of comments in there. Thank you to all you guys. I'll see you on Monday. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.